Hello and welcome to the start of a new readathon vlog. I am doing two readathons that overlap a little bit at the end of June. The first one is the Summerathon. It started today, which is Friday, June 21st, and the first day of summer, and goes through to the 27th. And then the Journey to Atlantis readathon starts on Monday, June 24th and goes until Sunday, whatever that day is, Sunday the 30th. I'm sorry, my lips are really red and puffy looking right now. They've been super dry. And I just did a lip scrub and then put coconut oil on, so they look extra big right now. But yeah, so starting out the readathon, my first pick is an audiobook. It's called Catch a Falling Star by Kim Culbertson. It's a young adult contemporary about a girl whose family owns a little deli in this town called Little California, and a movie crew comes in because they're filming, it's during the summertime, and a movie crew comes in to film a Christmas movie during the summer months that they're gonna have out come Christmas time or the holiday season. And there's this really famous actor who is just in like some tabloids thing. And so I think his reputation is a bit on the line. So I believe from the synopsis, our main character, she basically gets like hired out to act as his girlfriend during his stay in this town to kind of like smooth things over and the like. I feel like it's gonna be very like Hallmark-esque. There's probably gonna be a romance sort of thing and the like. So that's my first pick, and I'm using it for the prompt for Summerathon to read a book that has sunrise colors on the cover. That's the only one when I did my TBR that I didn't have a pick for. And this works. It could also be a beachy read. It can also be set in summer. And I'm sure I'll drink some lemonade at some point while I'm reading it, so it could also work for the prompt of a summary. Read your favorite summer drink while you're reading a book. As far as physical books go, I'm still reading Water for Elephants. I almost said How to Train Your Elephant. Not How to Train Your Dragon, not Water for Dragons, How to Train Your Elephant. No, oh my gosh, Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen. I put it down during the Buzzword Readathon because the prompt was you, and I had a couple books that I wanted to read, so I put it down while I was reading the first Gossip Girl book. And then I just finished that the other day, so I didn't really have enough time to finish Water for Elephants before this readathon starts, and I've still got probably like just under 200 pages left in it. So I think I'm going to use that to fulfill the prompt of a theme of like traveling or summer vacation or road trip and the like for that. Because I don't really have a problem using that as a book, even though I've already started it, because I still have about half of it left. And they definitely travel all over the US because they're a circus, and so they're going around on the trains and whatnot and go from state to state. So it works. I am going to listen to a bit more of Catch a Falling Star while I wait for the boys to get home. It's a Maddie Boy weekend, and I just got home from running a couple of errands. I worked in the office, so this week was my first full week transitioning to working from home full-time, but I did have to go into the office today, which is Friday, for just kind of a session that our people team or our HR department put on for us. So I actually got off about a half hour later than normal. I did turn in, my library does a summer reading thing, and I did turn in my first 10 hours sheet here, and I got a carabiner mug. I might show you it later, but now I'm working on the last like 90 to 100 hours, 90, 20 hours, 11 hours. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Okay, I read 10 hours. Now I have to read another 90 hours, so for a total of 100 by the end of August so that I can get a t-shirt. So I turned in my 10-hour sheet and got my mug today, and then I went to Walmart and got the kiddo the next Dogman book. He's on book 4, which is Dogman and Cat Kid or something like that. He's been really loving those books, and I think it gives him a lot of like pride and joy and motivation to see, because they are comic books, but you know, they're little chunky books, and I think it makes him feel really good when he can fly through them and read, you know, a book or a book and a half in a weekend when he's with us. So I got him number 4 as a like great job this year, because he on Wednesday had his last day of 2nd grade. So we've got that, and then he's got 5 and 6 waiting for after that, and then we'll have to find the others if there are any others. Otherwise we'll have to move him into a different story. So yeah, now I'm just gonna do some house chores like sweep and put away things and feed the doggos while I'm waiting for the boys and listen to a bit more of my book. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot of an update right now. I think I might be like, I'm not even an hour into this book yet. So once I read more, I will catch back up with you guys and let you know my thoughts on it. So I'll catch you here in a little bit.
Do you want to see me be a dolphin?
Yes. So it is Sunday, I don't have my phone on me, whatever day Sunday is. It's the 3rd day of the Summerathon. I'm a couple hours into Catch a Falling Star now, which is my book with sunrise colors. One of those. It's not so bad. It's kind of your typical YA little romancy book. A misunderstood teen falls, they're probably gonna end up falling for each other. And she's trying to figure him out and, you know, see him as not the Hollywood star that everyone sees him as this bad boy who's got a bad reputation and all that. I also started 5 Feet Apart last night, which is a buddy read I'm doing with Eric over at Break Even Books and Amber from Books of Amber, and we're doing about 3 chapters a day. So I think the first portion was about 30 some odd pages, and so far so good. The chapters in that bounce back and forth between the 2 main characters, which are Stella and Will. And so far seems like we're all kind of on the same agreement that Will is probably going to be your bit annoying kind of character, and he's not written very well, but I guess it kind of makes sense, because if you're a teenager that has cystic fibrosis and cepacia, I'm not entirely sure about the terminology, but it's a bacteria or a virus that he contracted in his lungs, which basically means he's not eligible for a lung transplant. So I guess if I were in his shoes, I would kind of have an I don't care about anything sort of attitude as well. But right now, this weekend we've been doing yard projects, and we're converting our wood shed into a garden shed for me. So we're moving all of my garden stuff out from the garage into my she shed I guess we can call it. It's not your typical Pinterest she shed, but I'll show you what that looks like. So we took apart this shelf bench worktop thing my dad built in the garage, and it's gonna go in here on that back wall there, and then we're gonna move some things in. So I'm gonna help out now.
Best one of my life. I said no. Zing. You just gonna make something poop on my head again. I won't do that this time. Come on, knock knock. Bazong. Pow. Alright, who's there? Zing. A cloud. A cloud who? A cloud pooped on your nose. Ha 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 ha. I have had it with ha 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 ha. Slice. Ha 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 ha. Little Petey. Ha 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 ha. I can't look. Oh, hi, dog man. Zoom. Foosh. Twink. Screech. Oops, I mean hi, the bark knight. Hi, ADHD. Hey, I mean hi, lightning dude. You guys look awesome in your costumes. I sure wish I hadn't forgotten mine. My costume. Let's do this.
It is now day 4 of the Summerathon, Readathon, and day 1 of Journey to Atlantis. And I just finished up Catch a Falling Star. I gave it overall a 3-star rating. I liked the character dynamic quite a bit in this story, which was a big selling point for me. I liked that it wasn't really like an insta-love sort of story, and it wasn't like a enemies to lover sort of trope either. It was just kind of your girl that isn't so keen about Hollywood being in her town, but knows that it's good for the economy, and in the end she really just wants to help this guy like build up his his image again after kind of hitting a low spot in his career. So she is just a really good person, and they develop a friendship where they just kind of help each other through. He kind of helps her realize that her life is pretty small, in not like small in a super negative sense, but that she's just kind of boxing herself in her town of little, and she shouldn't hold her back just because her parents are going through some things with her brother and things like that. But also she's kind of teaching him that Hollywood isn't all there has to be, and he can kind of come down to a different sort of level and still be happy with his life. So I liked that quite a bit. I also liked the atmosphere of the book. It was a very small town feeling, like you could get a pretty good picture of what this town was like, and things. So, but I did think, I mean, there was like poor communication and stuff, which is one of my pretty big gripes with YA contemporary. Just that people don't communicate well with each other. I just hate reading about that. So overall, it wasn't a bad book. I think it was perfect for Summerathon. It was just kind of your light, fluffy-ish contemporary, even though there were a couple of pretty serious points about the book. And then I've also made progress in, not The Fault in Our Stars, I keep wanting to call it that, but 5 Feet Apart. I had to do a bit of research because I don't really know a whole lot about cystic fibrosis, and I feel like this book does a pretty good job of informing. about kind of what it's like, but also there's key things that I feel like are being left out. Like I didn't know if cystic fibrosis was only passed genetically or if it was something that could be contracted virally. So I did a bit of research on it, which I suppose is pretty good because if it weren't for this book, cystic fibrosis isn't really something that I think about often or that I would really think to like learn more about just because I don't know anybody who is dealing with it. But I did learn it's passed genetically and that you don't always have to have portable oxygen with you. I learned quite a bit. I was watching a couple YouTube videos about some younger people who are living with cystic fibrosis and kind of like what they're doing to help manage their lung health and just what it is. So basically, we're following these two characters, Stella and Will. I really like, actually, I'm reading a couple books, these two readathons that have dual perspectives. But it's nice that you've kind of got Stella's point of view because she's very interested in her treatments and getting better. It seems like there's something there that we've not yet learned about of why she's so keen on making sure that she stays healthy and essentially stays alive. But we haven't found out yet. And then you've got Will, who's kind of given up. He's about 2 weeks from turning 18 when he just wants to stop all of his trials and things like that. He has cystic fibrosis, but he also has B. cepacia, which is a virus in his lungs that basically makes him ineligible for a lung transplant. But they being Will and Stella are kind of, I guess, like teaming up to motivate each other and to keep each other healthy. So Stella is in the hospital because she had a sore throat, so she needed the help of antibiotics to help clear that. And so she's supposed to be there for about a month, and then Will is on a new trial drug to see if it'll, I don't know if it's supposed to be a trial drug to clear up his B. cepacia or to see if that can go away and he can be back on a transplant list or not. So I've still got quite a bit to learn about that, but I'm finding the book interesting overall, and Will's not as obnoxious as I thought he was because, I mean, honestly, if I were in his shoes and I've spent basically my entire life going from hospital to hospital and all these trial drugs and being poked and prodded and being a test for things that you don't even know if they're gonna work or not, I would be pretty fed up with it as well. But he basically just wants to live out the rest of his life as best as he can. So it'll be interesting to see how his and Stella's relationship and friendship and stuff changes throughout the story and the like. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going, but the reason I wanted to call it The Fault in Our Stars earlier is because it does have a very similar feeling to The Fault in Our Stars. Look at this girl. She's such a ham. But it obviously is different in its own unique sort of book. I also think it's really interesting that this wasn't a book first. It was Rachel Lippincott. She asked the screenwriters if she could adapt their screenplay into book format. So it'll be interesting at the end of this to watch the movie and see what she did with it differently than what they did in the film. So that's basically my reading update for right now. And I did start on To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. That's going to be my book for, oh gosh, what is the prompt? Ooh. Oh, food on the cover. That's what it is. It's got an octopus on the cover, or what I assume is an octopus, and so it's a bit of a stretch for food on the cover, but people eat calamari, and it works for me. It's just not like a cutesy summery food like ice cream or frappuccino or what have you. And then it also is one of the group reads for the Journey to Atlantis Readathon. This year's the first year that there are 2 picks for the group read, because a majority of the people in the book club for Creating and Coast Book Club, they did read To Kill a Kingdom last year. I already owned To Kill a Kingdom on Audible, so I wanted to obviously read a book I owned, and it's a standalone, whereas The Beholder is the first book in a series that came out this year. I think it actually came out at the beginning of June. And I'm just not at a point where I want to start another series yet. So I'll probably finish that up here within the next couple of days, and see where I go from there. So that's my update for now, and hopefully I will check back in with you all in a relatively soon manner. We'll see, though I'm not very good about this 2 vlog pickup camera thingies a day, so it'll probably be tomorrow or the next day, but I will catch up with you then. She acts like we don't love her, but we really do. She just says, touch me, I need you to pet me, let me know I'm loved. Hi, sweet girl. What you doing? Hmm? You're like a little baby, aren't you? And then brother's sitting over there with his ears all perked up, hanging out, being a lone wolf. He needs a bath. Ronan! Ronan! You're so handsome. Oh, and now sister's mad because the attention came off of her. Are you jealous? Are you a typical little sister? Yeah. Oh no, the big dog's coming for us. Help me! Look at you guys. Look at you guys. I love when my dogs both want to snuggle me. But see, she's jealous that I'm petting him, and she has to try and eat my hand. Evas, what you doing? Oh, animals. Good morning. So today brings us to the second to last day of the Summerathon and day 3 of Journey to Atlantis. I finished another book last night, which was Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen. I am giving this a 4-star rating. I really enjoyed this book, minus the whole like August and animal cruelty parts. But I really like the character of Jacob and just how he's so, like, he's just got good morals, and I think he's a really good and strong character and a really reliable narrator. I enjoyed that this book switched between Jacob in his elder years, as he's 93 or 91, whatever, he can't remember his age, and then the time when he joined the Benzini circus. So I really liked it. I like all the animals that are in it. I like the character dynamics, and I think it's a really interesting way to kind of learn a bit about what the circus was like back in the 20s and 30s. And then just see like how it worked and the ins and outs and the like of it. I know this is a work of fiction, but I know she did do a bit of research as well, excuse me, about the circus during that time and stuff. So I thought it was really interesting, and I had actually forgotten a lot about what happened in the movie, so it was kind of nice because it was like reading this for the first time without knowing the story, a little bit at least. But yeah, I'm looking forward to, I think I'm gonna buy the movie, but because I'm pretty sure we don't own it, or maybe see if it's on Netflix and then try to watch it here soon. But I did like that book. So that means I've completed 2 books now for the Summerathon, and I'm currently still listening To Kill a Kingdom. I've got about just under 6 hours left on that, so that'll be my 3rd book for Summerathon. I'll have no problem getting that finished by end of day tomorrow. And then To Kill a Kingdom will be my 1st book for the Journey to Atlantis. And then I think the next book I'm gonna pick up is gonna be Dunkirk by Joshua Levin, which this is the history behind the major motion picture. I don't know that I'll be able to finish it by tomorrow. Let's see, how many pages are you? There's a lot of acknowledgments and things like that. Okay, so this is 339 pages, which I probably won't be able to finish by tomorrow. I don't know. I'm gonna try and do my best. So if I am able to put this in my Summerathon Readathon, it'll be, I guess I could put it as my summary drink read. But for Journey to Atlantis, it works for has a map and a 1-word title. So we'll see how far I'm able to get in this over the next couple of days. I'll keep you posted on my thoughts and things like that. So that's about it for right now. So I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Who the heck is this person checking in with you guys twice in one day? Because I don't know her. But I realized after my last clip that I forgot to tell you about my progress in 5 Feet Apart, and it's been a couple hours since my last check-in, and I have since finished To Kill a Kingdom. So I don't remember if it was marketed as like a dark or grim version of The Little Mermaid, but that's a lot of the vibe that I got from it. Just instead of the main character being a mermaid, she is a siren. You have the similar feels of not living up to the parental figures' expectations of them, getting turned into a human. She didn't lose her voice like Ariel does in The Little Mermaid, but she did lose her like siren song effect. And then there's this whole search for this really powerful artifact that whoever basically wields it gets control over the whole ocean and stuff. Did I already say I gave it 3 stars? If not, I gave it 3 stars. I enjoyed the audiobook for the most part, but it was nice because we follow 2 main characters and the perspective jumps between the 2 of them. One is, oh my gosh, I can't, Lyra, that's the siren, and the second main character is Elian, who is a prince who wants to be a pirate, but he's basically only known as being a prince. So we had a female and a male narrator, which was really cool, but sometimes their like narrations and their accents weren't the greatest, which isn't too big of a deal because I do like when you have the dual perspectives and there are a different narrator perspective. I guess my biggest thing with this is I wanted a lot more world building with it because I felt like she could have done so much more with that. And also I kind of wish that like the story started out pretty grim and pretty dark, and I wish it had kept that feeling all the way through, but it kind of lost that edge a little bit as the story progressed, which I guess is kind of okay because you're seeing character development from Lyra. She goes from being this like dark Princess Bane is her nickname. She only kills princes, and it starts with her talking about how many hearts she has under her bed, and the ways in which she like kills her prey and stuff like that. And then as she kind of grows and realizes that maybe sirens could actually get along with humans, you see that little bit of a shift. So it goes a little bit, lighter in some areas. So overall, it was a pretty decent read. It might be interesting to give it a reread in another couple of years, or like a year or two, as a physical book versus just the audiobook, and see if I pick up anything different the second time around. So yeah, it was pretty good. And then last night I read 5 Feet Apart. We have started to read 2 chapters instead of 3 per night. Excuse me. So that Eric could do a bit of catching up, because he did go to a bachelor party this past weekend. And we stopped on chapter 10 last night, and it was not a good chapter to start on. There was something I was kind of expecting to happen, or I guess a knowledge to be shared, that I was just kind of waiting for it to be told, and it did, and it was just really sad. So it wasn't a good spot to stop, because I feel like had I kept reading, I would have obviously gotten sucked down the emotional rabbit hole. But also it wasn't a good place to stop, because I feel like, I guess I'm getting pulled from the story a bit sooner than I would normally like to. And I would like to kind of sit in those emotions a little bit. But also it kept me from crying. So, that's good, I guess. So I'm going to read 2 more chapters of that tonight. And I am going to read whatever I can of Dunkirk. I think tomorrow I am going to start The Song of the Current on audiobook, which is going to be my pick for, I'm not picking another book for, Summerathon, but it will be my next pick for the Journey to Atlantis Readathon, which will be my pick for a foreign land prompt. Also, I had mentioned that I was going to try and find Water for Elephants on Netflix or buy it, but I already own it, so I guess we'll watch this at some point. Or I will watch it. I don't know if Skyler actually wants to watch it with me. So we'll see how that goes. Right now I am uploading a sticker haul video, which will be up tomorrow, which is Thursday. So in the past for you, it's already up as you're watching this. And then I think here in about an hour or so, Skyler and I are gonna hang out together and watch an episode of Jessica Jones. So that's my update for the time being. I probably definitely won't have another update for you because I don't like picking up my camera and I'm in bed and trying to like relax and fall asleep. But if anything important happens in my books tomorrow, I will let you know first thing in the morning. Hey everyone, so today is the last day of the Summerathon, which means it's day 7 of Summerathon and it's day 4 of the Journey to Atlantis Readathon. I just read for 3 hours on my couch and I finished up 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott. I cried. This was a really good book. I think I'm gonna put it down for maybe a beachy read. I'm not entirely sure. I will be able to count it towards Summerathon though, definitely, just not Journey to Atlantis. Like I said earlier, this was a buddy read with both Eric from Break Even Books and Amber from Books of Amber. And I kind of told them today that I wanted to read a couple extra chapters per day so I could finish this book by the end of June. So I was planning to do like 4 chapters, and then the remaining of the book. But I ended up just reading the rest of the book that I had left because I wanted to just finish the story. I feel like this is a book that if you had the time, you could really just fly through it in one day, no problem. But basically, it follows Will and Stella, who have cystic fibrosis, and they are at the hospital at the same time. Stella is there for a sore throat and getting over a cold, and then kind of as a wait to make sure she's healthy so that she can get new lungs as soon as they come in. And Will is on a new trial drug because he has B cepacia on top of his cystic fibrosis, which means he's no longer eligible for a lung transplant. At first they butt heads because she's like a goody-goody, she follows the rules, and Will is just counting down his time until he is 18 and doesn't have to be in hospitals anymore. He can willingly do what he wants and just live out the rest of his life. They form a bond, a friendship, feelings for each other, and at a point, Stella kind of does some research about B cepacia because she doesn't know a whole lot about it, and they decide that since cystic fibrosis has already taken so much from them, they want to take back 1 foot. So a cough can travel up to 6 feet, which is why there's this 6 feet apart rule for patients with cystic fibrosis. So Stella wants to take a foot back. And they just start hanging out together and kind of teaching each other to live in what's really important in each other's life. They help each other get through a couple things. And I just really liked the characters in this. I thought they had a really good dynamic together. You kind of have like the bratty teenager feel in it with Will, but honestly, I mean, if I were in his position with failing lung health and I had no chance for a lung transplant because I contracted this other virus on top of it, I would probably still continue doing my treatments, but I don't know at what point I would also kind of give up like he does with different trial drugs and things like that, and just want to live out my life to its fullest as I could for the rest of it. But he did change that. He had quite a bit of character growth through this, and I thought that was really great. So yeah, this was a good book. I was expecting a different ending, and I'm pleasantly surprised that it did not give that ending, because I don't think I could have handled it. It would have been another... I'm not going to say that because I don't want to spoil anything. So it was a really good book. I did really enjoy it. I was just looking for the Blu-ray on Amazon to see about buying it, but it's still, it's like $10 off right now, but it's still almost $20 to buy. So I think I'm going to wait for a little bit since it is still fairly new. But I do really want to watch the movie and see how it compares, since this was a book adapted from a screenplay. Versus a screenplay adapted from a book, which I thought is really interesting and really cool what Rachel Lippincott did to build this story. So in total then, I guess I can wrap up my Summerathon for you really quickly. Let me grab my planner. Let's see. Almost there. So I then successfully, I completed a beachy read. I am going to use 5 feet apart for a beachy read. I read Catch a Falling Star for Sunrise Colors. I read Water for Elephants for a book that has a road trip or travel vacation themes in it. Food on the Cover, I read To Kill a Kingdom, and Read a Summary Drink, I also read To Kill a Kingdom. So the only prompt I guess I didn't fulfill, but I really did fulfill, is a book set in summer. So Catch a Falling Star fits in with that, which means I completed all 6 reading prompts. I have to color in these 2 and add the titles to them. But yeah, that's a really successful readathon for me. I think that's the first time, like other than the Magical Readathon OWLs that took place in 2018, that's the first time I've completed each and every prompt. Excuse me, I really need to go to bed. Another quick update, I did start reading Gulliver's Travels on Audible today. I'm about 2 hours in, and it's a just under 10-hour book. So the 2 books I'm in the middle of right now then are Dunkirk, which I am reading physically, and then Gulliver's Travels. And assuming I can finish both of those books by Sunday, I'll have each prompt checked off for Journey to Atlantis as well. So quite a successful week and a half long to double readathon, I guess, especially because only one of those books overlaps, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to quickly update my bullet journal and then head to bed. I'm whispering and in my office with terrible lighting because it's like 9:30. Not even 9:30, it's 9:18 right now. Skyler went to bed around 6:30 because he has to be up at 12:30 to go to work for inventory. So I'm gonna go lay down here in a little bit. Sorry, because I definitely can't stay awake and read anymore. So I should have an update for you then tomorrow with Gulliver's Travels, because I don't really have my thoughts together right now to really talk about what I've read so far. So I will check in with you tomorrow. Hello, it is the second to last day of the Journey to Atlantis readathon, and I still have 2 prompts left to fill. I'm currently listening to Gulliver's Travels still, and I've got about 6 hours left. And then I'm only about 40 pages into Dunkirk, so I'm not entirely sure that I'll finish that by tomorrow. Especially because it's already like 5. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock. And tomorrow we are going on a drive to Forks, which I've actually never been to, and I've lived here my entire life, so that'll be fun. But right now I am sitting by my movie case, or our movie cases, because they need to be organized a bit. It's been a while, and with doing our floors and stuff, we have had things in weird places, so you know, they haven't been put away properly. So I have to put little felt pads underneath the cases to make sure they don't scratch the floor, and then I'm actually moving them to this wall here, which used to have our fireplace. There's the patch in our roof from where the chimney was. My dad and Skyler took that out today. So I'm moving them to this wall, and then on the wall that they're at right now, that's where we're going to put in our pellet stove. So that's what I'm going to do for now. I don't really have a big update on the books that I'm reading yet, but I did spend the day with my mom, and I'm going to insert 2 clips after this of the little like lending libraries that our mall has. They have one at each end, so I did look through them. Spoiler, I didn't pull anything out because nothing really intrigued me, but it was pretty fun to see. Those are the first I've actually like looked into and stuff. So yeah, that's it for right now. I'll definitely check in tomorrow to at least close out the vlog, but for right now I am going to get to organizing. Good morning. It is Sunday, which is the last day of the Journey to Atlantis readathon, and it's 6:30 in the morning, which is far too early to wake up on the weekend. But we are headed to Forks, which is actually my first time. I've lived in the Pacific Northwest my entire life, and we're about like a 3 or 4 hour drive from Forks, and I've never been. Skyler got a nice little sporty car that he wants to take on like little summer drives throughout the summer, so that's what we're doing today. I am not going to finish my Journey to Atlantis reading prompts, and I'm not going to finish Dunkirk or Gulliver's Travels, which Dunkirk was going to be my book with a map, and one word title on Gulliver's Travels was a book set in a foreign land. But I did read To Kill a Kingdom, which counts for 2 prompts for me. It's the group read, or one of the group reads, and it's also the like a Deep Blue Sea story. So I feel pretty good, but that's basically me wrapping up the reading portion of this readathon, and then the rest of it is just going to be our adventures out to Forks. We have a couple podcasts picked out, so I'll let you know what we end up picking, and I'll show you the sights along the way. Are you excited?
Yeah.
All right. Fingers crossed I don't fall asleep at any point of this journey. I'm like a baby still. I fall asleep in the car all the time. So I'll check in with you later. Well, we made it to Forks, and it's not all that exciting, but there's a little nature trail by the Chamber of Commerce, and there's a free little library at the start of it. Oh, it would help if I turned that first. Help me! There's a couple of books. A romance. Yeah, not too many things in there. But it's cool that they have it on the nature trail. Great, so we left Forks about 40 minutes ago, I think, and we're now sitting at Crescent Lake. That's the pan of the lake, obviously, that I just showed you. And Skyler's getting his sandwich right now so that he can have a little bit of a snack before we drive the last 2-ish hours home. But it's absolutely stunning here, and the water's really cold. It's an alpine lake, but I'd probably jump in if I actually had clothes I could dry off into, but I don't. How's your sandwich? How's the drive?
Fun.
That's good. How'd you like all the twilighty things we didn't see?
It was uneventful.
Very uneventful. I would say that we're definitely past our prime for twilight. hitting forks, and unless you like really have nostalgic feelings towards the books, it's really not worth it to head that way. But it was fun because it's a place that both of us haven't been before, so it was cool to see a little bit more of the state that we live in. So yeah, we're gonna enjoy the view.
Hey.
Hey,
Let's go.
what? Oh my gosh, are you serious? Yes. Hello. So I never finished off this reading vlog or readathon vlog yesterday. If you couldn't tell by the last clip, because I know it was a bit windy and I know Skyler was talking pretty quietly, but if you couldn't tell by the reaction and abrupt ending, he did ask me if I would marry him at Lake Crescent, and I said yes. So we are officially engaged now, which is really exciting. But I just wanted to come on and wrap up the vlog and say thank you for watching. It is Monday, July 1st, and I did, oh my gosh, that means I got the keys to my house 5 years ago today. Wow, that's bananas. But anyway, so I did finish Gulliver's Travels this morning. I'm not going to count it towards the readathon. I just wanted to finish it up, and it'll be included in my June wrap-up. I'm giving it a 2-star rating. He basically travels to 4 different locations and meets like 4 different types of people or creatures there, and his interactions with them are really strange, and it didn't sit too well with me. I thought it could have been a really good story, but I just don't think it was for me. So I finished that up. It was a little bit of a bummer to end on a book that I only am giving 2 stars, but overall I feel like I read some good books during these 2 readathons, and I'm really happy for the time I spent and the like. So I would love to know if you also participated in either the Summerathon or the Journey to Atlantis readathon, and if you did, what was your favorite book, and or if we read any of the same books, especially the group read for Journey to Atlantis. It seems like there were quite a few people who didn't enjoy it quite so much, so I would be interested in hearing what your thoughts and opinions were. So please do comment down below, and I will chat with you there until my next video. Bye!